For weeks now, Donald Trump and his goons have been going after Dr. Fauci because Fauci made the fatal error of becoming popular in the eyes of the American people. But that's sort of getting to be old, and they need something new. They need Donald Trump to set himself apart from any medical expert, anything like that, even ones that have been incredibly deferential to him, like, for instance, Deborah Birx, who appeared recently with Dana Bash, and Dana Bash pretty much laid into her. Take a look.
The question that everybody out there has is why? Why did this happen? Why was the government, particularly, I mean, you're the coordinator for the federal response. Why weren't you able to stop this from spreading and continuing to spread uncontrollably as it is now? I mean, we've been talking about outbreaks across the Sun Belt. You're warning now about a resurgence in states across the Midwest. In recent days, you've named 20, we're putting them up on the screen, 20 of the 50 states as places you're watching. So are we in a new phase of the pandemic? And if so, what are you going to do to change course?
I think those are two very critical questions because we are in a new phase. And that's why I really wanted to make it clear to the American people. It's why we started putting out government.
Try to get a handle on this because what I'm trying to express to you, which is something that I know that you're hearing, people are panicked. People are worried. People don't understand why this is seeming to be completely out of control. Johns Hopkins University said, quote, this week, the United States is not currently on course to get control of the epidemic. It's time to reset. A couple of other medical agencies, associations said similar. So is it time for the federal government to reset?
Well, I think the federal government reset about 5 to 6 weeks ago when we saw this starting to happen across.
Okay, so yes, there were cuts made. If you want her rambling for 45 seconds at a time without really saying anything, there's some of that available online. But she did acknowledge that things are really bad, that the government did have to reset 5 or 6 weeks ago. I don't really think that happened, but Trump isn't going to want it to be acknowledged whether it happened or not. And she acknowledged that things are likely to get bad, that there are like 20 out of the 50 states are expected to be new hotspots for the virus, just as the 4 main ones right now start to get it under control. New ones are picking up the slack. And so we're going to have his response in just a little bit. Spoiler alert, he didn't like it. Francesca, what do you think about Birx now being like the replacement for Fauci, both in terms of a representative for the government, but also for his rage?
I will remind viewers about why Birx became Trump's right-hand woman and doctor in the first place, which is because he, quote, thought she was elegant. A bunch of people, a bunch of CDC officials, a bunch of other professionals were telling him, look, we got to get this under control. We got to get this under control. What's going, what's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan? He was like, I don't know. Oh, look, she's got a scarf. Like that. Yeah. That is how it went down. So it's, and again, I don't want to throw Dr. Birx under the bus here. Like, I think it is an unenviable position to have to be a mouthpiece with a brain for this brainless mouthpiece. You know what I mean? Like, how do you do that? You're in a position of privilege. You could potentially, thread this needle, the needle that no one has managed to thread in this entire time. And that being like someone who wants to do a little bit of good in the Trump administration, just a little bit of not harm. Yeah. Is truly never able to do it. And then they go off and write an entire book about how all they wanted to do was bomb Iran. And yeah,
I think I know. I think I know who you're talking about there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. And look, she said a few other things that were critical before we give his attack. Let me read a couple of these. She said that what we're seeing today is different from March and April. It is extraordinarily widespread. He doesn't want that. He believes that we only have cases because we have tests, even though hypothetically you need to have both tests and actual virus infections. But anyway, she said that. He didn't like it. And if you have an outbreak in your rural area or your city, you need to really consider wearing a mask at home, assuming that you're positive if you have individuals in your home with comorbidities. And he's not going to like that either because he now flips day by day on whether he begrudgingly is okay with masks or it's a plot from, demonic ethereal witches to impregnate you in the night. And so, like I said, He started off the morning attacking her, saying, "So crazy Nancy Pelosi said horrible things about Dr. Deborah Birx, going after her because she was too positive on the very good job we were doing on combating the China virus, including vaccines and therapeutics. In order to counter Nancy, Deborah took the bait and hit us. Pathetic!" And he knows pathetic. And so, yeah, she is now pathetic because after being attacked by Nancy Pelosi in her recent appearances, like with Dana Bash, she is more critical of the response. I would argue she's more critical of the response because the response is failing. And understand, this is Deborah Birx. This is like a woman who, in late March, said, "I've never seen anyone who absorbs medical information like Donald Trump does." She defaced herself, like, before the country, took all of her credibility and threw it away for him, perhaps vainly, naively thinking that Donald Trump would be appeased by that. But he's not. Smaug doesn't want a certain amount of gold. He wants more than he has. And so...
No, yeah, I mean, girl, jump ship, write that book, sell it before November. You know, it's like, yes, Trump really is that dumb. My take, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sick of it. But I do want to just remind everybody, like, that syphilitic brain tweet has very real life consequences for someone like Deborah Birx, for Anthony Fauci, who I believe travels with security now because of death threats and because of, all of the online hate and everything that he's received because of the way that the president has treated him. And now, once again, we know how Trump treats women, and we know how women are disproportionately impacted by his tweets and his words, etc.
Yeah.
So, once again, look out, Deborah Birx.
Exactly. And I want to give you just a little bit more, because we're on Tone Watch, week 3. Trump's got a new tone, so let's see what that new tone is. First of all, he's attacking Dr. Deborah Birx, so, man, he really doesn't like doctors. He's okay with Dr. Evil, Dr. Doom, he's okay with. Other doctors, not a big fan. So in that burst of tweeting that he's done over the last day, he also said, "Cases up because of big testing. Much of our country is doing very well. Open the schools," because he has a hunger for more deaths, and now he wants the sweet death of the young. And so he said that. He also said, "With the exception of New York and a few other locations, we've done much better than most other countries in dealing with the China virus. Many of these countries are now having a major second wave." Yeah, the other countries are, not us. The fake news is working overtime to make the USA and me look as bad as possible. As we passed 157,000 deaths, and God only knows how many people with absolutely shredded lungs and hearts and other long-term organ damage from having survived this illness. No, it's the other countries that are doing poorly. We're good. We just have the most deaths ever, anywhere.
Bad
New
for the
tone.
soul. All this. Don't read those tweets. Bad for the soul.
That's
just
true.
Imagine how bad they are.
Exactly. It's like,
I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. I get it, John. This is a news show, but I feel like when I read that, a part of me dies.
Yeah. It's probably a part you need. I think you could use it. Yeah.
I know. I don't want to just, it's fully just like, ee! Like every time he capitalizes words that he shouldn't, I was like, ee! Oh. There goes my innocence. Flap, 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 flap.
Yeah. No amount of clapping is going to save Francesca when she sees something like that. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.